Good morning, students. Today's topic is factors affecting human capital. This topic's objectives are human capital is an intangible asset not listed on a company's balance sheet and includes things like an employee's experience and skills. And next is since all labor is not considered equal, employers can improve human capital by investing in the training, education, and benefits of their employees. And human capital is prescribed to have a relationship with economic growth, productivity, and profitability. And the next is like any other asset, human capital can dispracticate through long periods of unemployment and the inability to keep up with technology and innovation. These are the objectives of this topic. And next, introduction of human capital. Human capital is a measure of the skills, education, capacity, and attributes of labor, which influence their productive capacity and earning potential. And according to the OECD, human capital is defined as the knowledge, skills, competencies, and other attributes embodied in individuals or groups of individuals acquired during their life and used to produce goods, services, or ideas in market circumstances. And individual human capital, the skill and ability of individual workers, human capital of the economy, the aggregate human capital of an economy which will be determined by national educational standards. This is the introduction of human capital. And next is that the topic of factors affecting human capital. Many factors is there. There are factors that determine human capital. Skills and qualifications, education levels, work experience, social skills, communication, intelligence, emotional intelligence, judgment. These are the factor human capital. And next, personality. Personality, hardworking, harmonious in an office, habits and personality traits, creativity, ability to innovate new working practices, products, and fame and brand image of an individual. Example, celebrate paid to endorse a product. In geographical, social peer pressure of local environment can affect expectations and attitudes. These are the factor affecting human capital. And next factor of affecting human capitals are an intangible asset. Human capital is the workforce a company employs. Human capital is a combination of employee competencies and their commitment to the organization for which they work. And next point is competences. Competences, the ability an individual has and her capacity to expand upon them can help her create a positive gain in human capital. Competences are more than just skills because employees have the power to gain new knowledge and generate new skills with training. The sharing of competences does not make them scarce. Instead, the objective effect occurs. And for example, a doctor can gain a level of human capital with training and education, but then develops a greater gain in human capital over time with continued practice and experience. In addition to formal education, a worker can increase her human capital at work through different experience and with training. According to Baker, economic growth depends on the abilities of workers to gain new competences through education and training. These are the competences of human capital. And next is knowledge. Knowledge, one of the most important factor in the development of human capital, is knowledge according to Gordon Marshall, author of A Dictionary of Sociology. However, knowledge is only effective when an individual receives an education that does not include incompetent teachers, outdated materials, and teaching methods that do not cater to the needs of the students. And Baker states that education is an investment in human capital. And individuals in the US with a post postnatary education can earn a higher income. Knowledge can help an individual further increase his competencies. When combined with empathy, knowledge can also help generate goodwill, another human capital asset that is intangible. And next, the knowledge, next point is organizational development. A company that invests in its employees also places in investment in human capital. When employees receive the tools, support, structure, and knowledge needed, they can increase their human capital and adapt better to the changes in their respective industries. And these organizational development help employees strive for a similar goal, create an environment of collaboration and trust, and improve problem solving techniques. And organizational development is an ongoing process that a company can use to create gains in human capital and positive employee development. These are the organizational development in the economy and human capital also. Next is risk. Human capital risks can begin with the influence of families. Baker states that parents can affect a child's level of education, habits, values, work habits, and motivation to do well. However, risks in human capital can also happen when a company operates below industry standards. And these risks may occur when a company does not meet employees' need or provide the tools necessary to increase productivity. Other risk factors include employee absence, constant group activities that hinder productivity, and activities that cause poor work quality or error. These are the risks in the company and human capital. In these pictures, different types of factors include in human capital. First is individual factors, then domestic factors and global factors, social economic outcomes. All of these are the human capital factors. And next, these factors one by one discuss. First is individual factor. The individual factors one certain fact within the individual. In these individual factors, skills, knowledge, attitude, and greed. These types of individual factors see. The individual factors that determine health are factors identified within an individual, including attitudes, knowledge, skills, genetics, and personal characteristics. There are a range of individual factors that determine the health of an individual. The syllabus list of following individual factors. Individual factors, the first is knowledge. What a person knows is one of the more influential individual factors that determine health. In order to improve their health, an individual needs to have good health knowledge. That is, they need to know where to get information, healthy food choice, recommended levels of physical activities, how things affect our health. These are the protective and risk behaviors, how to interpreting food labels, and have a wealth of other knowledge related to health. And there, the health is the person of the knowledge, what individual factor in there. In knowledge, often health knowledge is linked with health literacy. Health literacy is the ability to understand and interpret health information in order to promote the health of yourself and of others. However, health literacy requires both knowledge and skill. And we see the skills in individual factor. Individual factors such as skill affect the health of individual. Skills that are related to health include and critical inquiry. Now, how to trust for information. Research skills, how to find information. These are the skills in the critical inquiry and research skills. And next, the practical skills such as decision making, communication, problem solving, and movement skills. Such skills can help an individual achieve good levels of health, especially when combined with other factors such as access to information and health professionals, money, and an environment in which they can use these skills in a positive manners. And next is individual factor. Next, attitudes. An individual's attitude can have either a positive or negative effect on their health. Often, achieving good health requires resilience, preservationness, self belief, and determination. People who value health and have these attributes are likely to achieve better health than those who do not. Within attitude, the value people place on health is pivotal. And people who have a high value of health are more likely to prioritize their health over other demands. This relates to time, money, and other aspects of life priority. For example, a person who highly values their health and has a high level of preservance is more like to quit smoking or not take it up in the first place. These are the attitudes in the human, and the attitudes is they are also more likely to stick to exercise plans and make time to improve their social health as well as their mental and physical health. And next, genetics. Genetics is another of the individual factor that affect health. Genetics refers to the genes you inherit from your parents. These genes can predispose, making things more likely due to particular disease or health issues. For example, if your parents have diabetes or cardiac cardiovascular disease, then you are more likely to also get such disease. Furthermore, particular people groups groups suffer more from particular diseases and are more likely to develop them. An example of this is the higher rate of diabetes among indigenous people. As such, indigenous people may be genetically predisposed to diabetes, although this is hard to determine with so many lifestyle factors. Another example is people who are born with white skin and fair hair, who are more likely to develop skin cancer. These are the factors of genetic factors. And next factors are the role of domestic factors. Next factors is domestic factors. Domestic factors, it means education and health. Education and health is extremely important in improving the living standards of a country, as it not only benefits the individuals receiving the education, but there is also a wider benefit to society. This is because a more educated, highly skilled workforce tends to have higher levels of productivity and therefore greater national output. And this extra income earned from the increase in output can then be re- reinvested either privately or by the government through redistributive policies. In order to further improve the country's development, in the country's development, in addition, a more educated population improves communication and can lead to social reform. This, this type of education and health is there in domestic factor. Another factor is appropriate technology. Labor intensive technologies use our labor in relation to capital. These increase local employment and the use local skills and materials. incomes and poverty alleviation should also increase. Capital intensive technologies use more capital in relation to labor. In developing countries with large supplies of labor, they displace workers and increase unemployment, reduce incomes, and increase poverty. In they require skill levels that may be costly and difficult to acquire, as well as relying on expensive importing. However, these are an important component for increased economic growth. In more developed countries where there are higher levels of employment anyway, and these the appropriate technologies. And next, the microcredit. In microcredit, small loans are lent to businesses in developing countries, therefore, enabling them to become independent and self employed. This can also allow families and communities to escape poverty as they have a means of earning their own incomes without taking on large financial risks. This does not only benefit the direct recipients but other locals as well, as since individuals can afford to spend more money in their local communities. In microcredit, and both the example of their microcredit is the spent more money in their local communities, and the credit is therefore microcredit can help to encourage self-reliance amongst the communities in which it is available, so the benefits will continue for future generation. And microcredit is often given to women as they are often responsible for bringing up the next generation and therefore can have a profound influence on the future development of the country. This therefore grants them the opportunity to rise the standards of living of their families and improve their own physical and social well being. And the next level of the empowerment of women. The empowerment of the women across the world. Many societies still future elements and gender inequality. However, women are an essential component of promoting both economic development and economic growth. Gender equality, gender inequality has an has a determinantal effect on the equality and quantity of labor and consequently leading to limited productivity. The empowerment of women, allowing women to work and be active members in society, directly increase the labor force, therefore enabling the country's output to increase. In addition, women in developing countries are often responsible for rearing and children with which means that our education that such children receive is likely to depend on the female members of their community. It therefore seems clear that it is important to educate women in other order to improve the quality of the future labor force, and that the income distribution income distribution or income inequality is a significant factor that contributes from developing as a result of the unequal distribution of factors of production inequalities in income being to occur. In these income distribution, for instance, when people settle in an area, individuals acquire land of different quality and quantity. Therefore, when they farm such land, the result can in incomes vary. It would seem that in any society, some degree of inequality is therefore invi- inevitable and phrases necessary in order to provide people with incentives to work. This is the income distribution. And another factor we will see in human capital is global factor. Global factors businesses are affected by an internal environment, such as they are affected by the competitors. Global factors influencing business are legal, political, social, technology, and economic. Understanding of these factors is important while developing a business strategies. In these strategies, first of all, the point is social factors. In the social factors, these are factors are related to changes in social structures. These factors provide insight into behavior, taste, and lifestyle patterns of a population. Buying patterns are greatly influenced by the changes in the structure of the population and in consumer lifestyles. And these social factors, age, gender, etc., all determine the buying patterns, and understanding of such changes is critical for developing strategies which are in line with the market situations. And in a global environment, it is important that business strategies are designed keeping in mind the social and cultural differences that vary from country to country. Consumer religion, language, and lifestyle pattern, these the social changes factors in human capital. And the next is the legal factors. Legal factors, these factors that influence businesses strategies are related to changes in government laws and regulations. For a successful business operation, it is important that the law businesses consider the legal issues involved in a particular situation and should have the capacity to anticipate ways in which changes in laws will affect the ways they must behave. And next is economic factors. Economic factors, these factors involve changes in the global economy, a rise in living standards would ultimately imply an increases in demand for products, thereby providing greater opportunities for businesses to make profits. And next is political factor. Political factor, this refers to the changes in government and government policies. Political factors greatly influence the operation of business. This has gained significant importance of late. And next is technological factor. These factors greatly influence businesses' strategies as they provide opportunities for businesses to adopt new innovations and inventions. This help the business to reduce cost and develop new products. And the next is social and economic factors. Social and economic factor such as income, education, employment, community safety, and social supports can significantly affect how well and how long we will. These factors affect our ability to make healthy choice, afford medical care, and housing, manage stress, and more. And social and economic factors, area of the country, health rankings we look at. Education showing who in a community has graduated high school or attended some college in addition to the percentage of teens and young adults ages 16 to 19 who are neither working nor in school. And employment, detailing unemployment statistics. And income is looking at and the children looking at children in poverty and income equality. And the family and social support, providing information on children in single parent households and access to social opportunities. And the end, community safety, measuring violent crime and injury, deaths, etc. These are the social and economic factors of human capital. At the end of this topic, some references there. These are the references of this topic. And next is the questions of this topics are first question is according to the text. Basic need include first is food, cloth, and housing. Next, health, education, and quality housing. And educate, nutrition, primary education, health, sanitation, water supply and housing, lo- longevity, and living standards. The right answer of this question is health, education, and quality housing. Next question: what is the most typically used measure of a country's level of development? First, technological innovation, mobility, income, and gender equity. What is the right answer? The right answer of this question is income. Income is the right answer. And next question is social outcomes commonly used to measure a country's level of human development include first duration of hospital stays during pregnancy and interest rate, nominal interest rate, and infant mortar, mortality and adult literacy rate, average number of Facebook friends per user, and other social media indicators. And the next average years of graduation and admissions rates to university. And that is the what answer answer is infant mortality and adult literacy rate. And next question: what does the Gini coefficient measure? Options are general efficiency of the economic system, rule of law, poverty, and inequality. And inequality is the right answer. And next, the question is which of the following would typically be considered human capital? Gender and race, health and education, prime ministers and presidents, religious world view, and trust. The answer is this question is health and education. Health and education is the right answer. And next question: approaches to development that emphasize the environment often want to focus attention on which of the following? Sustainability, accountability, transparency, and autonomy. And what is the answer? Answer is sustainability. And next question is a central debate about the cause of development in the 20th century was between which of the following perceptives: state and markets, equity and reciprocity perceptives, GDP and GNI, North versus South. The answer of this question is states and markets. And next question is one example of an institution that has been hypothesized one education hypothesized to cause development is collective action, the family, property rights, parliamentary system. This is the property right. And next question is, what do proponents to neoliberalism think about development? Development is basically random. Development is matter of culture. Development is best accomplished using the free market, and the development is the state's responsibility. What is the answer? Answer is development is best accomplished using the free market. This is the right answer. And the next question and last question of this topic, the author most known for arguing that economic development and social change arise from the interactions of social classes was Thomas Friedman, Hendrik Sprit, Milton Friedman, and Karl Marx. What is the right answer? Right answer is the Karl Marx. Karl Marx is the right answer. This is the all about of the topic, factors affecting human capital, and end of this topic. Thank you.